A Manhattan hotel turns into a flashpoint of national outrage as the turbulent protests from Minnesota rock New York City. Dozens of protesters arrested after occupying lobby of Hilton Garden Inn in downtown Manhattan, hotel accused of housing federal immigration officers. ICE shootings in Minnesota fuel nationwide protests. Video from inside the hotel shows demonstrators staging a sit-in, holding banners, chanting slogans, and condemning federal immigration enforcement. Police moved in after protesters repeatedly refused orders to leave the premises, arresting those who stayed behind. One protester said they were rallying because, quote, ICE is abducting our neighbors here in Minnesota and across the country, accusing Hilton of providing lodging to immigration agents in New York City. Local reports say around 60 protesters were arrested for trespassing and refusing to vacate the lobby. Outside the hotel, several hundred more demonstrators gathered, chanting against ICE and vowing to continue protests until federal agents leave the premises. Authorities have not confirmed whether ICE personnel were staying at the hotel during the demonstration. The protest comes amid a wave of nationwide anger following two fatal shootings involving federal immigration agents in Minneapolis this month. On January 24, 2026, 37-year-old intensive care nurse Alex Pretti was shot and killed during an immigration enforcement operation. Federal authorities claim a Border Patrol agent fired in self-defense after Pretti allegedly resisted disarmament. But widely circulated video footage shows a more complex confrontation, sparking public debate over whether Pretti posed an immediate threat. Weeks earlier, another federal officer shot and killed 37-year-old mother Renee Nicole Good during a separate enforcement operation in the same city. Both deaths have triggered widespread protests and demands for accountability across the United States. Demonstrations that began in Minneapolis have now spread nationwide, with solidarity protests reported in cities including Chicago, San Francisco, and Boston. Back in Manhattan, protesters packed the small hotel lobby wearing shirts reading "Hilton houses ICE," demanding the hotel cut ties with federal immigration officers. The New York Police Department said officers issued multiple warnings before making arrests. While police did not immediately confirm final numbers, an Associated Press photographer witnessed dozens of protesters being detained and loaded onto buses outside the hotel. The protests show no signs of slowing, as anger over federal immigration enforcement continues to spill onto America's streets.
Sir, was Mr. Pretti acting as an assassin? Do you think he was acting as an assassin in Minneapolis? Mr. Pretti, your deputy chief of staff said that. You don't think so?
So that being said, you can't have guns. You can't walk in with guns.
What about the Second Amendment?
Listen, you can't walk in with guns. You can't do that. But it's a very unfortunate incident.
In a stunning political twist, US President Donald Trump has been forced into a public retreat after initially amplifying claims that Alex Pretti was armed and dangerous, a portrayal now unraveling under intense scrutiny. Trump first denied knowing Pretti, then doubled down, arguing you can't walk with guns, even though Pretti was legally carrying under Minnesota law, triggering fierce backlash from gun rights advocates and allies alike. Now calling the killing an unfortunate incident, Trump softened his rhetoric while still insisting that open firearm possession at protests is unacceptable, sparking a fiery national debate over the Second Amendment, policing, and presidential accountability.
Sir, was Mr. Pretti acting as an assassin? Do you think he was acting as an assassin in Minneapolis? Mr. Pretti, your deputy chief of staff said that. You don't think so?
Well, that being said, you know, you can't have guns. You can't walk in with guns.
What about the Second Amendment?
Listen, you can't walk in with guns. You can't do that. But it's just a very unfortunate incident.
The remarks come as newly released details from the Department of Homeland Security sharply contradict early speculation surrounding the fatal encounter involving U.S. Border Patrol officers in Minneapolis. According to an initial report by Customs and Border Protection, 2 officers discharged their agency-issued weapons during a violent struggle with 37-year-old Alex Jeffrey Pretti, a U.S. citizen, over the weekend. The report states that CBP personnel attempted to take Pretti into custody after he approached officers following an altercation involving civilians and law enforcement. Pretti reportedly resisted arrest, triggering a physical struggle that unfolded in full view of bystanders, many of whom captured the incident from multiple angles. During the confrontation, a Border Patrol agent is heard repeatedly shouting, "He's got a gun," as officers wrestled with Pretti on the ground. Roughly 5 seconds later, one Border Patrol agent fired a CBP-issued Glock 19, while a Customs and Border Protection officer discharged a Glock 47, according to the report. The document does not explicitly confirm whether bullets from both officers struck Pretti, but it confirms that law enforcement used their own firearms, not Pretti's weapon. This detail directly challenges earlier questions about whether Pretti's gun may have discharged during the struggle. A CNN analysis of available video footage indicates that an officer appeared to remove Pretti's firearm from his waistband moments before shots were fired. Following the shooting, a Border Patrol agent reported that he had possession of Pretti's firearm, later clearing and securing it inside his vehicle. CBP personnel then attempted life-saving measures, cutting Pretti's clothing and applying chest seals to his wounds as emergency protocols were activated. Despite these efforts, Pretti remained critically injured at the scene. More than 10 minutes later, Minneapolis Fire Department Emergency Services transported Pretti to Hennepin County Medical Center. He was pronounced dead at approximately 9:32 in the morning. The incident began earlier when a Border Patrol officer was confronted by 2 female civilians blowing whistles near the roadway. When ordered to move, the women refused, prompting the officer to push them aside, after which one ran to Pretti for assistance. That interaction escalated rapidly, ending in a fatal confrontation now being investigated by multiple agencies. The CBP report is the first official document to emerge from a series of ongoing probes, including investigations by Homeland Security Investigations and Minnesota's Bureau of Criminal Apprehension. An autopsy is expected to be conducted by the Hennepin County Medical Examiner's Office, with CBP investigators requesting official findings once completed. The results could play a critical role in determining whether criminal charges, policy changes, or disciplinary action follow.